Radio News.
Hello, good afternoon. This is Radio News. First, to the headlines. The police in Juba have arrested 2 suspects in connection with the killing of Council of State lawmaker Luka Mathin, who was shot dead in Juba on Saturday night. Activist Edmond Yakani says a political dialogue among parties scheduled for this week was abruptly postponed this morning after the SPLM party raised objections to the proposed agenda. And the Minister of Information and Communication in Upper Nile State has welcomed the resumption of iRadio broadcast in Malakal, saying it will help in promoting public awareness ahead of the upcoming elections. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo. And now the news in detail. The police in Juba have arrested 2 suspects in connection with the killing of Council of State lawmaker member Luka Mathin, who was shot dead on Saturday night. Authorities say investigations are ongoing to establish the motive behind the attack. Luka Mathin, who represented Choibet County in Lake State in the Council of States, was killed during a shooting incident that occurred at around 9 p.m. in the high referendum area, Gudele Block 4. Confirming the incident to iRadio, the National Police spokesperson Major General James Mandenoka said 2 people were shot during the attack, resulting in 2 fatalities, one of whom was the MP Luka Mathin. General Enoka stated that 2 suspects have been arrested and are currently in police custody. He added that a criminal case has been opened at Gudele Police Division and investigations are progressing. Police say information obtained from the suspect is expected to help identify other individuals who may have been involved in the killing. He spoke to iRadio this morning.
Yeah. Okay. The extradition was that around 9 p.m. That's Village Block 4. Somebody shot 2 persons dead. So this person, one of them is the Honorable Luka Mathin, 50 years old. He was baptized, and another person is Riek Ajang. Yeah, these were the people. That incident took place at the referendum area. The 2 accused who have been arrested. They are now under custody and the investigation is proceeding. The case has been opened in Gudele Police Division. So and we are expecting a press report from regarding the development of the case. It is through this aspect that the others who might be involved will be identified.
The police authorities have assured the public that they will provide updates as soon as new developments emerge. Meanwhile, the National Democratic Movement has condemned the killing of its member in the Council of State, Luka Mathin, describing it as a barbaric act that undermines peace and the rule of law. In a statement released today, the party said it received the news of the assassination with shock and disbelief. NDM said Luka Mathin was the chairperson of the Standing Specialized Committee on Education, Research, Science and Technology in the Council of States. The party strongly denounced the attack and called on the authorities to swiftly apprehend the perpetrators and bring them to justice. It said, and I quote, "We condemn this barbaric act in the strongest term possible and call upon the authority to apprehend the culprits and bring them to book. Our nation deserves to be a place where citizens live without fear, free from insecurity and barbaric attacks of violence of this nature. Such crimes undermine peace, the rule of law, and public confidence in security institutions." The party said such acts of violence erode peace, weaken the rule of law, and undermine public confidence in security institutions. It further urged the government to end the activities of so-called unknown gunmen, particularly in the capital Juba. The NDM extended its heartfelt condolences to the family of the late lawmaker, his constituents, and colleagues, and prayed for his strength and comfort during this difficult time. Activist Edmond Yakani says the political dialogue among parties scheduled for this week was abruptly postponed this morning after the SPLM party raised objections to the proposed agenda. The dialogue, which brought together more than 70 participants, was intended to provide a homegrown solution to South Sudan's ongoing political situation. It aims to de-escalate military confrontation and reduce reliance on external mediation. The purpose of the stakeholders and political parties consultative dialogue was to provide an update on the R-axis. Speaking to attendees, Yakani, who is the executive director of the Community Empowerment for Progress organization, said members of the current government argued that certain provisions in the agenda were not open for debate, citing decisions made during the extended presidency.
We have one party, which is the incumbent government. They are not with us in the hall, as I'm quite sure some few friends of South Sudan have asked, where is the members of the incumbent government? We're given a few excuses for why they're not in the hall. And I have to make it very clear that their excuses is that they feel we need to revisit the agenda of the dialogue. That's the excuses. And they say we need to revisit the agenda because of decisions that were being made in the extended precedence are not subject for debate in this meeting. Based on that, our conversation with them, we accept that we need to go for consultation to put the path as a right as we're going for dialogue.
The consultative dialogue is part of ongoing efforts to provide updates and ensure the effective implementation of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan. Yakani stated that the team would meet with the unity government signatories at their premises to reach a consensus on the agenda.
So from here, we'll go directly to the incumbent government, the Aichigono. We'll meet with them, and we'll meet with them in their premises to reach consensus on the agenda. We'll communicate that to you, but also we'll talk to each of the parties that we have them invited for this conversation.
This is iRadio News. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mande Semaya Kumba, says a high-level delegation from Juba will engage with Sudanese authorities on oil, trade and investment following a visit to Port Sudan. Minister Semaya is part of a delegation led by the Presidential Advisor on National Security, Chutgadluak Manime, who delivered a message from President Salva Kiir to Sudanese leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. According to the news agency, the message was delivered on Sunday during a high-level meeting in Port Sudan. Speaking after the meeting, Minister Semaya said the two sides held bilateral talks aimed at strengthening cooperation in the areas of oil, trade and investment with the goal of deepening economic ties and promoting mutual growth between the two countries. He added that South Sudan and Sudan agreed to continue engaging through bilateral and technical meetings to address the issue of common interest. He says,
the two sides also exchanged views on a number of bilateral issues with main focus on the oil industry, trade, investment, among others. The two sides also agreed that the delegation will continue in engaging in several meetings, bilateral meetings and technical meetings to address issues of mutual concerns.
For his part, Sudan's Undersecretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Muawiyah Osman Khalid, said the meeting underscored the strong relationship between the two countries. The Media Authority will convene a national conference on combating hate speech and strengthening social cohesion on Tuesday in Juba, bringing together government officials, media leaders, civil society and development partners from across South Sudan. In a press invite dated earlier, the three-day conference, organized in collaboration with Journalists for Human Rights, will run from December 16th to 18th at the Juba Grand Hotel under the theme Beyond the Painful Divides. It aims to foster a coordinated national response to hate speech, misinformation and disinformation. According to the organizers, the conference will bring together a total of 39 delegates from the 10 states of South Sudan and the 3 administrative areas and will be joined at the national level by 111 representatives of government institutions, media houses, civil society, faith groups, youth, and women-led organizations. Each state and administrative area is expected to nominate 3 participants: the State Minister of Information, a civil society representative, and a media manager, to take part in the discussions and share experiences from their respective regions. Participants from the state and administrative areas will begin arriving in Juba today, with all travel, accommodation, meals, and conference logistics fully covered by the organizers. The media authority says the conference will provide a platform for dialogue on practical strategies to counter hate speech and promote peaceful coexistence, especially through responsible media practices and inclusive public communication. As part of the program, each state and administrative area will make a 5-minute presentation on the status of hate speech and the mechanisms in place to address misinformation and disinformation within their jurisdictions. The conference will run daily from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and organizers say its outcomes are expected to contribute to stronger national unity and social cohesion in South Sudan. Before international news, the Minister of Information and Communication in Upper Nile State has welcomed the resumption of iRadio broadcast in Malakal, saying it will help in promoting public awareness ahead of the upcoming elections. iRadio's repeater station resumed transmission in Malakal town over the weekend after the German embassy in Juba funded the installation of solar-powered system for repeater stations in Bor, Chorit, and Malakal. The Malakal repeater station had been off air for more than 6 months. Speaking to iRadio this morning, the State Minister Peter Nyojo said the reopening of the station will play a key role in fighting misinformation and hate speech while also strengthening social cohesion in the state. He said the absence of credible sources of information had negatively affected the social fabric in Upper Nile State, stating that the return of iRadio would help keep citizens informed about national developments. Nyojo added that the radio station will also provide civic education by providing listeners in Malakal with vital information about the upcoming general elections. The minister expressed appreciation to iRadio and its partners for restoring the repeater station despite financial challenges.